It's time once again to go racing.
It does not get any better than this.
The pressure is really on now.
Yes, it's pole position. Lights out and we're racing in PSGL.
The first lap has been absolute chaos.
What an overtake.
Oh no!
I've never seen anything like it.
Side by side again. This will be settled right at the end. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, mothers, fathers, daughters, sons, brothers and sisters. Welcome to round number 7 here at PSGL for PCF2. My name is King Kodiak and I'll be one of your commentators throughout this evening's race. Joining me in the box this time, always happy to say, is the one and only Jess.
Hello Chris, good evening everyone. We're in for another action-packed race in PCF2. The first time we've been to Jeddah in PSGL history. It's the longest street circuit on the calendar, 6.175 kilometres. The second longest circuit on the Formula 1 calendar after Spa. Spa, don't forget, is 7.004 kilometres as well. And this circuit is designed for speed. You can go flat out in some corners as well. And it has a nice adrenaline rush, which quite a lot of the drivers absolutely like as well. We don't have a clue how the drivers are going to fare today. It's completely new. Let's see which drivers have put the practice in.
Absolutely. Let's have a quick rundown of who we've got. 18 drivers are with us for tonight's festivities. The F1 race yesterday was, as you would predict, very action-packed. The god himself, Jarno Watmir, once again dominating from the front. But let's see who we've got for F2. Carter Lundy is back with us in the Aston Martin. Jack West is yet to lead the pit lane. We have Jordan Poland is back in the Ferrari. Good to see him back with us. Oscar Villacampa in the second Aston Martin, yet to lead the pits. Jack Laverty in the Haas, not on circuit yet. Simon Perroni, will he get a break or will his car break? We will see. He is in the Alfa Romeo. Luke Smith is out there. There he is in the Alpine, in a nice big clunk of traffic coming through turns 14 through to 17. Bearing in mind this circuit has 270 corners. No, it doesn't. It has 27 of them, but it feels like it's 270. Primož Miklovic we had last time out. We welcome him back in the second Alfa Romeo. Joost Noordijk in the Mercedes, out on circuit, ready to do battle. Norbert Jakob in the Ferrari looks like he's going to be one of the ones to set the first time lap of the night. There he is in the second Ferrari. Duncan Hoffland has invalidated his lap, which is a good trick on a street circuit. It is possible in a few places. You just saw a big runoff area there leading through the last few turns. But it's generally, if you run off the circuit, the wall is waiting for you with open arms. Jeffrey Ritchie is back with us, this time in a Williams. One of our reserve drivers here in F2. Thomas Ronhaar, championship leader in the McLaren, again on medium tyres, ready to do battle. Andre Turabukun, I actually had a chat with him earlier on for an article I was writing. Glad to have a chat with Andre and the troubles that he's had in Russia due to the current conflict. We're obviously not going to talk about the political situation there or anything to do with that, but it was good to have a chat with Andre and also with his team Shazoo. But he is with us in the Alpine, taking a bit of a cutting line there through. I'm going to struggle to keep up the corner numbers. 24, I think that was that he cut a little bit. Sam Corby is with us, and there we go. Norbert Jakob indeed, the first man to get time of the ball, 126.806. A name I'm not so familiar with, Danny Lusik. Welcome to you in the house. Glad to see you.
He was there last week. He was there last week.
Was he?
He just used his. He didn't use his full name.
That's why I don't recognise it. So I'm not quite going senile, but I'm working on it. As Danny returns to us in the house, good to see you with us. Ruben Pedreño in the McLaren, and Tom Martinez completes the lineup of 18 drivers.
Yeah, quite a few people were here last night in Jeddah for the F1 tier. Obviously, Tom Martinez, Joost Noordijk, Duncan Offland, Ruben Virginia as well. So they've had some experience. Luke Smith also raced last night as well. And we saw people in the 126s, 125s, but Jarno Otmir was on another level last night. He was practicing a little bit as well. It has a good potential to have some great battles, but also there's plenty of risks that the drivers will probably take today. There is quite a few blind corners as well, so knowing your braking references is absolutely key, and otherwise you could cut corners and invalidate, as other people have done. As Joost is currently on pole position, 126.5. We have got an Alpine who's about to line. Or he might be going into the pits, actually. He's probably going into the pits. And Jeffrey Ritchie, yep, it is Jeffrey Ritchie, who was in the Williams, not the Alpine, comes across the line, 126.374. So times are tumbling at the moment, but I'm sure they're going to find some more time as the session progresses, because again, not many people have raced around here on this game before. They only had since November to get some practice in.
That's the thing, isn't it? With this circuit being brand new to the Formula One circus last year, this will be very much a path untrodden for our drivers. It's not in your racing DNA. It's not a Monza. It's not a Monaco. It's not a Silverstone that is on every single racing sim since the dawn of time. Obviously, Jeddah, being a brand new circuit, hasn't yet had the chance to be very, very well raced just yet. So, yes, I'm looking forward to seeing a number of cars detonated into the walls. I'm sure the drivers aren't. Although, like I said, when I spoke to Andre earlier, he was actually quite looking forward to tonight. And he said he put in a fair amount of practice for tonight's race. So looking forward to seeing what the young Russian can do. Thomas Ronhaar with the lead time on the medium tyres at 27.2. With Jeffrey Ritchie at 26.3. Now takes the top of the soft time so far. As we kind of saw in F1 yesterday, we're seeing a fairly constant stream of cars. I think most people are going to want to maximise their track time. I certainly would if I was in their position, but then if I was racing, I'd probably be in like F402.
Yes, I would probably be in I don't know, F minus or something like that, because I'll just not be good to be on the grid at all. So, yeah, they put thousands of hours in as well. For me, I just turn up to a league race and that's it. Spend about half an hour practicing and just have some fun. But
you've been on the podium, Miss Ball, so you can't give yourself that much discredit.
I know, but these drivers, they want to be in F1 esports in the future.
Yeah.
Pretty much all of them want to be in F1 esports in the future. So the more practice they get, just like we saw with the F1 testing in real life, the better that the drivers will become, obviously, when they get to race either in challenges or even at PSGL. Corners just posted the updated standings on Discord, which is brilliant, so we can go through them now. Whilst people are on their outlaps and about to start, we got Carter Lundy, who's just making his way through to turn 1. But Thomas Ronhaar is leading the way with 70 points. He's had 3 wins on the board this season. All 3 of them have come from pole position. That's quite common. He's had 6 pole positions. No, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 pole positions this season, sorry. But he got a P3 in France where he didn't get pole position. Simon Perigny in P2 on 58 points. Very close to win last week. Duncan Offland in 3rd on 41. Ruben Drenio 4th on 31. Then we've got Luke Smith in 5th on 30, doing quite well. Tom Martinez in 6th on 24. Then we got Sam McBride on 22. He's not here tonight though. Joost Noordijk in 8th position. Oscar Villacampa 9th with 20 points. 10th is Norbert Jakob with 14. At 11th and 12th is Jack Laverty and Carter Lundy on 12 points. Then we have Jeffrey Ritchie and Danny as a reserve. They're 13th and 14th respectively on 11 and 8 points. We've got Jack West in 15th on 6. We've got Andre Tarabukin on 5. Sam Corby on 5 points. We've got Jordan Poland on 2 points. So with Primoz Mikhailov, I can't even say his name.
Primoz Mikhailov.
That. He's on 4 points. We got Andreas Dormeyer and Paris Burrell on 1 point, and then we got Chana Kinchi, who's not here tonight, with yet to score. Quite a few people yet to score actually. But those are your driver standings with Thomas Ronhar having a 12-point gap over Simon Brigney. Yeah, those two, they're going to have a huge rivalry for the rest of the season. They do not have long left of the season. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 rounds to go. Even though it seems like a long way away, it does go by very, very quickly, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. It really does fly by. But that goes to show that time flies when you really are having fun. It certainly flies for us. We hope that you lovely people watching along with us, either live or post-event, enjoy it as much as we do. Hello to everybody in chat tonight. Make it known who you're supporting. We do like to get our audience participation going, as well as Ruben Pedreño, our current poleman, brings his McLaren back into the pits. Thomas Ronhard, championship leader, is out there just coming through the banked number turn 13, weaving his way through. Let's follow him actually through his lap, although he's still on his out lap. That's Jeffrey Miguel. I always do that. I always think Jeffrey Miguel. That's one of his middle names. Jeffrey Ritchie, just getting out of the way. Of course, yellow flags there. The Aston Martin pair are quite close together, so that is Carter Lundy and Oscar Villacampa. Everybody except for Ruben Pedreño is actually on track.
Ooh, Thomas Von Hart has just gone in the pits.
He's left the session. That's why he suddenly ripped. I wonder why I suddenly switched to Carter Lundy. I couldn't imagine my computer was listening to me that much that as soon as I mentioned his name, that the camera then automatically jumped to him. That was a bit of a surprise. But Thomas Ronhart, oh dear, trouble for championship leader. So he hasn't got long to rejoin the sessions as Carter Lundy bring his car into the pits. Let's follow the other Aston then. Oscar Villacampa. First a couple of turns then, very, very slow. Get your foot on the gas as early as you dare. Wander over to the right hand side. You have got to flirt with the walls as much as you possibly can. As being there's 27 corners in this circuit, do not expect me to keep up with all the corner numbers. There are way too many of them, and I have not done this track. This will be the first time I've ever commentated here, so I will get it wrong. You have been warned. Right, into turn 13. That one is at least easy to know because it's right at the end of the circuit. Working our way then back across. We've gone completely, well, kind of northeast. We're now heading southwest as the Aston sweeps his way through corner after corner as Simon Perroni, the Frenchman, gets his name to the top of the board with a 26.145. And Luke Smith right behind him, 26.264, 5 thousandths ahead of Pedreño. Wow, my goodness. Villacampa using all the available road as we sweep through the long, probably one of the few times they ever get a break is between turn 25, 26 and now the final 27. This is where Max Verstappen binned it, if you recall, on his what was going to be godlike qualifying session. Through the final turn, sprint towards the line, and what does Villacampa get on the board? It is 8th with a 28.46.
There we go then, so just in at the top 10. Not ideal where he wants to be at the moment because ideally he would want the alternate strategy, but if you watch last night's race, we had some unlikely weather changes, didn't we? We had rain, which was unexpected. The drivers probably weren't expecting it to be rain because remember in Abu Dhabi and Bahrain, it never rains. But Jeddah's probably like Singapore where it probably rains quite a bit of the time, and the drivers obviously have got to be aware now that they're probably practicing.
It's uncommon, but it's not impossible, obviously. It's rare.
It's not, exactly. I before obviously watching F1 last night, every time I go around this track, I always practice in the dry. So I've seen what F1 saw last night. Every Jeddah practice I do, I will do in the wet as well, because you never know what could happen. Got a few people on laps at the moment. We've got one of the Red Bulls, that's Sam Corby, who is currently in last at the moment. If he'll let me go on board with him, there we go. Past the final corner of turn 27. He's 127.127, puts him into P13. And then we've got the other McLaren of, it's Thomas Ronhar, who is out on circuit again, which is good news because obviously he disconnected and he took that a very interesting line there as well. Full commitment from our championship leader as well, using all the curve as well. If I use all the curve like that, I usually tend to bin it. So they know what to do, they know their braking point, and they take it as faster as I would as well. But his teammate, Ruben Pedreño, he's going to be setting the next lap. He's third at the moment, not that far behind pole position, and he is pole position, 126.073. That is a brilliant lap, and I have to say, McLaren are looking quite good in testing in real life. They're looking good in this qualifying session here at Jeddah. But with Thomas Ronhard down in 14th, hopefully this can give him confidence that he could be up there too.
Remember, he has had a disconnect already this session, so he's screaming on now through the back half of the session. It's purple, Sector 2. What can Thomas Ronhard, the Dutchman, do to reclaim the top of the board? His teammate, 126.073, we just watched him do it. And Jess talked us through the tail end of the lap. Look how close he's hugging the wall through that long left-hander leading down to the final turn. Get the braking right. Use every pixel of the road to see what he can do. Yellow's flashing up because someone's coming into the pit lane. Nothing he needs to worry about this time. Does he get the top? Yes, he does. It's a 25 on the board. 125.971 for Thomas Ronhard.
There we go. That is more like it, Thomas Ronhard. He was out of position, wasn't he, at the start of qualifying? But he was doing a bit of sandbagging. He was like, you know what, I don't want to show my true pace yet. But he has been on fire this season as well. The Dutchman do well in PSGL. Jan Otmir in the top tier, and Thomas Ronhard in the second top tier as well. And if he keeps it up this season, I'm almost certain next season in season 31, we will see him in PCF1 for certain, even in F1 esports as well. So he's going to be going into the pits very shortly. And we've got Simon Prigney, Luke Smith, Joost Noordijk and Duncan. They're on their outlaps. Pretty much almost everyone is going on their outlaps as well. And it's not like Austria where you could go out as late as you can to still set a lap. You ideally need to be going out now because of how long the circuit is. It is around about 6 kilometres. In length, so the drivers have got to be on their A game. The out lap is longer than the fly lap as well. I think about the 1 minute 40s, 2 minutes is your out lap as well, just so you can burn your fuel, because a lot of people tend to do that in the higher tiers with no assist, burn their fuel towards the start of their lap, so they have as less fuel as possible to get their final runs in.
Look at Tom Martinez. Once you go through that, the amount of traffic he's got to deal with. But in fairness, everyone has done brilliantly well. Tom actually parted the wave perfectly between 4 cars while you were going through that, Jess. And a bit of a lift there for Tom. He kind of lost a bit of confidence in the car coming through that middle section. But wow, I was keeping an eye on him to see how well he was going to manage the traffic. Now, every single competitor is on track. The banzai phase, as I call it, the final 3 minutes of qualifying, when the track is at its busiest, and there's another couple of cars. Very nicely done. Duncan Hoflund and Luke Smith getting out of the way. Final turn for Tom Martinez on his likely to be final run. Whoever that is ahead of him isn't going to get in his way. That's Thomas Ronhard back into the pits. And that's an improvement for Tom. It's 126.374. Matched Jeffrey Ritchie to the thousandths of a second for 7th position in the Red Bull.
There we go. More people on laps as well. Luke Smith just starting his lap, heading towards turn number 1 and turn number 2. Simon Prigney is just towards the end of sector 1 as well. The man who is trying to challenge Thomas Ronhard in the championship. And he's 8 thousandths quicker than his previous best at the moment. Not quite purple as well. So he needs to have a miraculous middle and final sector to beat Thomas Ronhard. But even the smallest amount of areas around this circuit for these guys would potentially cost you as well. So we have talked about it last week in Austria, but it's even more closer than we think as well. We saw that last night with the F1 tier as well. It only took a few hundredths of a second, and then you're out of Q2, for example. So... but luckily, we won't have full qualifying in it. It's short qualifying. Purple sector 2 is Simon Prigney. Thomas Ronhard, Ruben Jr. can't go any quicker, so it's up to people lower down than them to set their laps. Prigney then goes past 24, 25 and heading towards the corner where, as Chris was saying, Max Verstappen pretty much binned it. He's looking good in the middle sector. Let's see what he is in the final sector. Crosses the line. Oh, not pole position, but very, very close, Chris.
He split the McLarens. That's a 126.002 for Simon Perny. Luke Smith has come back to the pits. He cannot improve. Norbert Jakob up to 6th. No, he wasn't. It was Primoz Miklovic. His retired his car. So he was up to 6th, but Duncan Hoflund has just beaten him to it. So Joost Noordijk is out there. Well, no, Joost has slowed down, so he can't do any more with his lap. Who else is out there? Jeffrey Miguel. Where are you? He's there. He is pushing, so still laps to be completed from Corby, West, Lundy and Laverty, and Richie, I believe, are the ones still on a push lap. That was Laverty up to 13th or 26.5. Who's next? Seeing people going into the pits. No more completed laps there. So we ride on board with Jeffrey Ritchie still. He should be completing his last lap. No, he's backed off. He's out of it. So that is going to be your grid. It is Ron Hart from Pyrenees. Our top two of the championship will line up on the front row, followed by Pedreño and Smith on row 2. Joost Noordijk and Duncan Hofland on row 3. The Mercedes pair locking out row 3. Ferrari row 4 for Jakob and Poland. Ritchie and Martinez take on row 5 with Lusink and Villacampa on row 6. Jack West and Jack Laverty on row 7. Carter Lundy and Andre Terry Beacon on row 8 with Primoz Miklovic and Sam Corby running out the tail end of the field. Oh my, the field separated by just shy of a second. Oh yes, please, we'll have some of this.
Yeah, apparently, according to our F3 commentators, they just had their Jeddah race and it absolutely delivered for them. That makes us even more excited for this race to see if it delivers for us in F2. But just under a second between everyone, that is amazing. We've got the top 2 separated by 3/100ths of a second, and then the top 6 separated by a small amount as well. That is absolutely crazy. That could be interesting in terms of strategy, in particular with the Mercedes as well. I think we saw with the 2 Aston Martins getting screwed up in the pit stops last week. Let's hope the Mercedes don't get screwed up here tonight as well. But Chris, I'll let you go through our qualifying results.
Well, there it is again. So it's Ron Hart and Pyrenees, same colours of the flag, just turned slightly different direction. So it is Holland versus France up top. Then it's the Spaniard of Pedreño versus the Brit of Smith. Then it is the Dutch pair on the Mercedes of Noordijk and Hofland. Row 3. Then Jakob and Poland, row 4. And Ritchie and Martinez round out the top 10. Are we going to see rain in the race? It's not particularly likely. It's not impossible, as Jess was explaining earlier. What will we hold? Now, no one's given us a weather update. We have no idea. Are we going to see all the cars complete? I shouldn't think so. I mean, no disrespect to our drivers, but this circuit is very, very hard. And nope, there's not a hint of rain in the sky. There's more water in the lake than there is in the sky at the moment.
Exactly. I think it's runs parallel to the Red Sea, I believe, as well. So quite close. So
all that means is the cars will float if they ended up in the sea.
Exactly. So before we get started with the race, we've got a sponsor to mention. It got confirmed yesterday by Connor. So Connor was able to sort this out. So this race, for the next 4 races or so, this race is sponsored by Grid Rival, a new Formula 1 Fantasy League game that has unmatched research tools, simple team management with a new contract system, which I really like actually, detailed performance data and loads of engaging social features. You can head over and join our PSGL League on Grid Rival by using the affiliate link in the description below. So just a quick summary, we are sponsored by Grid Rival, a huge thank you to them, and we do have our own Fantasy League which you can sign up, which I'm going to do after the stream, so thank you very much to them.
Awesome stuff. Thank you, Jess. Who is running what tyre, if I can get the right words out? Well, that's a pretty predictable split and fairly safe, I would think, for certainly a lesser known track. Everyone, of course, in the top 10 on softs and everyone outside of the top 10 on mediums. Right. As Ron Hart leads the field around the twists and turns of this circuit, Sam Corby at the tail end of the field. Wow, Miklovic getting a big old tank slapper there, coming through turn 3. It doesn't help that my track map that I'm using is actually completely upside down compared to the in-game one. Don't know why. That's the website I've used. I'm going to blame them for it. Ooh, who's going to be switching on to... Well, I would imagine that the hard tyres are going to be the tyre of choice. I would ask you what the tyres were used in F1, but that would be fairly pointless because we're not likely to see any wet weather tyres used tonight.
Yes, but I have seen a few races where a few people did try soft to mediums around here, where you pit around about lap 11 and go on a medium to 14 laps, but there is the hards, which you could use the fallback as well, but it's going to be hard in those cooler temperatures. But apparently some of the drivers said that it's a good race tyre, so it's going to be a mixture of strategies, I believe, but quite a lot of, especially the top guys, will probably try soft to mediums. The pit lane loss around here, not as much as other circuits, luckily, so we could see quite a bit of an undercut, people trying to pit quite early. 18.2 seconds is the pit lane loss around here, so we will probably see people in the middle probably try and take advantage. Watch out for Danny Lusink. He is the alternate strategy pole position. We'll see how he climbs up as well. He can take advantage of anything that comes his way. And he will be on the softer tyre at the end, which is 1.131 seconds quicker than the mediums. Ooh. Also watch out for Villa Camper as well. He's out of position, but he's a very quick driver. And pretty much watch for anyone outside the top 10 to see if they can climb up to where they started, because the F1 guys prove that you can overtake even in the wet. So should be very, very exciting. So let's get started with the race. And who will take the win? Will Thomas Ronhart add another win to his list? Will Simon add a win to his list? Or will it be somebody else? We'll find out in just under 45 minutes time.
25 laps of this tricky street circuit await. Who is going to come out on top? It is two tribes go to war. It is McLaren versus Alpha. It is Holland versus France. Ronhart versus Pyrenees. Come on, enough of the hype. Let's get on with it. Lights, come on. We know this process. It is time to wind them up and let them go. A really short holder. Cracking start from Luke Smith. If that wasn't a jump start, I'll be stunned, as Pyrenees has to defend straight away. But Ronhart holds on to the lead. Pyrenees just about fends off Luke Smith's advances. For second place, Pedreño down one. Lots of squabbling going on, as you would imagine, in the midfield. But Ronhart has managed to hang on to the lead. What a start from Luke Smith. He's already got a yellow fuel light on. My God, he's running that light. If that is the case, not even a sector done and he's getting fuel warnings going on. It's true, that is impressive. But so far, so good. Looks like Jeffrey was side by side with Jordan Poland for 8th position, coming into the banking, trying to box the Ferrari in. Oh, we've got trouble for the back, have we? Yellow flags. Yes, that's Poland. That's Jordan Poland. Literally, just as I mentioned his name, he's gone for a spin. Has he been damaged? Can't quite tell if he has, but one victim so far. We'll see if the Ferrari comes in the pit lane, but otherwise, it's so far, so good.
Yeah, Jeffrey right on the back of the Ferrari as we head towards turn 24. I think that those are the corners. I've literally got my map upside down so I can actually get the corner numbers right. He's going side by side with the Ferrari actually as well. Can he hold his line and going through the tight, twisty chicanes as well? The hairpin coming up as well, which you've got to get right and nail it to a T. And with higher fuel loads, it's going to be even more difficult for the drivers. But Jeffrey Ritchie stays ahead of Norbert Jakob for now. The closest on track, Simon Frigney, 1/10 behind Thomas Ronhart, and is very keen to get past the man who is fighting him for this F2 championship on the PC side as well. Shame what happened to Jordan Poland, but there is quite a few laps left, loads of laps left to capitalise. So should be able to try and gain as many positions as he can. He's not that far behind Sam Corby anyway, so there might be other people that make a mistake, so he could be back into this, and there could be some safety cars as well. So DRS should be activated in the next lap as well. Jeffrey Ritchie could go for another move here as well, but this time on Duncan Offland. Jeffrey is absolutely flying in that Williams car. It looks like this track is made for him right now. He's more used to the race pace than the qualifying pace. That's probably what his setup is at the moment. He seems to be very more comfortable on the throttle. You can tell which drivers have practiced a bit more, but everyone has obviously practiced. Here we go. You can take the right-hand side line this time, keeping it very tight. Actually, they make a bit of contact as well. I think it's turn 24 they go. How did Jeffrey Ritchie did not get a penalty? He might have got a warning for that, but Duncan defends very nicely from the Williams driver. So Duncan stays in P6, and he's got his teammate Joost Noordijk for company as well, heading towards turn 27.
God, blimey, Jeffrey Ritchie's got absolute cannonballs in his trousers. That was a stunning move. Very, very brave. He didn't come off, but neither of them ended up in the wall. It could have gone horribly, horribly wrong. DRS now available to everybody. The only one without it is Jordan Poland, but he is very, very close. He hasn't pitted, so crucially, he's still in with the chance of making his way back through the field, as everybody is still on the Snake. Of all tracks to have a problem early on, I thought this one would actually be the one where we see lots of pit stops early on, but no, not the case this time. DRS now coming open for our drivers. They have another shot of it in between turns 17 and 24, somewhere around there. So we will see them opening the DRS once again. Looks like Jeffrey's having another think about it on Hoffland. You can see on the tower he is very, very close. Actually, so is Poland. He's caught the back of the medium runners. So the Ferrari now back in the hunt, but he's going to find it pretty difficult to work his way back through all the medium runners. But we'll keep an eye on how he does. Look at that. The entire field still together as we head towards the end of lap 3.
Here he goes, Jeffrey Ritchie to the right-hand side. This time he was taking a similar move that he did in the last lap, but this time he did it slightly earlier as well, and it was a bit more committed as well. I think he knew what Joost did last time, and he did something completely different. So Jeffrey Ritchie is now up into 6th position, using all his battery.
Oh, Pyrenees!
Potential. Pyrenees is getting past Thomas von Haar for the race lead before we reach turn number 1. That was beautiful stuff from the Alfa Romeo. Thomas didn't know what to do there, but Simon, wow. Simon, sorry, not Simon. I've forgotten that he's...
I'm assuming that's how you say it. That's how I've been saying it all season. He's Simon Pyrenees.
Simon or Simon. I don't have a clue. But
as he's from France, that's why I'm going with that pronunciation.
I will say Simon then, because he's French. I should know because I did French at school. But he is now your race leader. I would take Thomas von Haar very, very nicely indeed. I'm surprised that Luke Smith didn't take advantage, but he's still within that train as well. Looking at position changes at the moment, Jeffrey Ritchie gaining the most, but Villacampa, Jack Laverty, Andre Charabukin, they've all gained 2 places. Obviously the biggest loser, Jordan Poland, down 10.
Yeah.
But we've got most people either gaining a position, either staying where they are, or only lost 1 position. So at the end of the day, it's not too bad. Usually losing 1 position here is pretty much normal as well, because some drivers could take it cautiously in the first few laps. And there was more incidents by now in the real life Grand Prix than here. Here comes Luke Smith. He's now trying to get past Thomas.
Oh, he's boxing behind Pyrenees
as well. Could be free abreast. Oh my goodness! Simon Pyrenees is doing all he can to try and fend off both of them. But Luke Smith gets past Thomas von Haar up into P2. Don't forget, Luke Smith is an Alpine Sports Academy driver. Thomas von Haar is going to fight again in towards turn 1 as well. Luke Smith tries to go the long way round, and he does it. Luke Smith, take a bow. He is your race leader, and this is why the Alpine Sports team has picked him up as an academy driver, because he is a star of the future. We got yellow flag. That is Danny Lusink. Unfortunately, he's been overtaken by quite a few cars, but Luke Smith has just gone from 3rd to 1st in a few corners.
Oh, that was brilliantly driven from Luke Smith. He saw that Thomas von Haar was actually making the attack back at him and boxed him in perfectly behind Pyrenees. What a move by Luke Smith in the Alpine. Great stuff. Yeah, Lusink is now down to the tail end of the field. I'm assuming there's damage on that car. The front wing looks all right, but he is crawling at the moment. He's plummeted through the field. He has got that penalty on Helicam shot, but the Helicam's quite a way away. That's wow, Luke Smith. Now he's got it all to defend against, because that DRS does seem to be pretty strong down that start-finish straight. We'll see how well he's able to defend. Look at Joost Noordijk now. Very much on Pedreño's case, as Pyrenees has a look around the outside of Smith, but not going to do it from that far back, as Joost Noordijk now getting very close to the Spaniard. Can he do anything here? Norbert Jakob has just made a move. Oh, well, no, he's still making the move on Hoffland, right on board with Martinez. You can see the Ferrari and the Mercedes side by side. Get on board with Ronner again on the inside of Smith. He went up 2 positions to the lead, almost lost them both again. Next time around now, Pyrenees needs the way.
I think Luke Smith has been absolutely swamped almost by Thomas von Haar. He was in danger of losing the 2 positions he gained off the last lap, as Danny Lusink has left the session. He is unfortunately disconnected, but he's pitting, I believe, onto he's pitting onto softs. Oh,
his AI is screwed in there.
That is screwed. That's what screwed Joost Noordijk last week. He disconnected, and the game put him on soft, and the game burned unnecessary fuel, and he couldn't carry on because he ran out of fuel. So that's why he retired. So hopefully Danny doesn't have the same thing, which is a bit of a shame, because he finished, I believe, 4th last week. or even on the podium. Actually, it was 4th last week, I think, or 5th. He did a brilliant job, and he's also done a great job in another league that I commentate on a Sunday night. WOR, he races there as well as reserve, and he does a great job there too. So he is making his mark in the league racing scene in the second top tier of both of them. And we've got Ruben Pedreño all on the back of Thomas Ronhaar now as well. So will they use teamwork to full advantage, or will they just be allowed to race? Ruben Pedreño more on Thomas's level this week rather than last week, past turn 27 then as well. I'm surprised Luke Smith is not quite close enough to get Simon Beregni, which is allowing Thomas Ronhaar to really use his battery to his full advantage here. Here he comes then, Thomas Ronhaar to the right. And he could go for the switchback heading towards turn 2, but he does not. Ruben Pedreño stays behind as well, but all of this is a concertina effect for the guys behind Joost Noordijk, Jeffrey Ritchie. We've got Jack Laverty having a battle with Andre Tauber-Brukin as well. Jack Laverty up into 12th position. Don't forget the top 10 score points over at PSGL. Of course, there's also the fastest lap. If you do finish inside the top 10, you don't get it outside the top 10. I'm watching Joost Noordijk at the moment. He's using less ERS compared to everybody else. He's on 76%. So once the drivers start to use most of their ERS, maybe Joost and Ruben Pedreño especially, they could take full advantage of us. And because it's not a lot of tracks, a lot of pits of this tracks are at full throttle, like you were saying earlier, Chris, there's not much chance to actually charge your battery, but there's more chances obviously compared to Austria, where Austria there's only a few braking zones, but there's more braking zones here. But less than other tracks, I have to say as well. But look at Ruben Pedreño. He's got the DRS. I'm just trying to see if Thomas Ronhaar has a DRS. He does, but if he didn't, I'm sure Ruben Pedreño would have tried and got the move anyway. This is delighted Luke Smith and Simon Beregni. We've got Duncan Hoff going for a move on Jeffrey behind as well. That was brilliant stuff. Duncan Hoffland up to 6th. So we've got both the Mercedes running in tandem at the moment. Thomas Ronhaar pit, Chris.
So does Jeffrey Ritchie. I wondered if he burned the best out of those tyres because he was beginning to fall back from the soft runners. So now the pit stops are starting to happen. 3 of them in now. That's Ritchie, Ronhaar and Jordan Poland. 3 soft starters in, leaving the rest, the top 7, ready, continuing to battle out as well. Martinez was fighting against Norbert Jakob. They're out of DRS range from the top pack. Also keeping an eye on Oscar Villacampa, the lead medium starter. It was Danny Lusing. We've lost him from the session, but my goodness me. And then, wow, the Red Bull absolutely flattens the Ferrari, screaming down towards the banked turn 13. Wow, Martinez didn't need a second invitation at that one. But now I'm expecting a big stream of the top of the remaining soft starters to all come in. Yeah, going back to what you were saying about the ERS uses, yes, you're absolutely right. There are more braking zones, but they're all really, really short. So ERS management is going to be really, really difficult, particularly for the front runners. But, of course, if you've got the slipstream, you don't need to use as much battery. Pedreño's battery looks barely touched, whereas Simon Perronet's is below 20%. So he's really going to be struggling. As they now going down towards the final turn yet again. Top 4 very, very close together. I would think the top 4 are all going to come in at once. Do they do so? No. Pironi does. And Noordijk does. Okay, so Smith, Pedreño, Hoffland. Well, Hoffland had no choice because his teammate was right with him. Who's the third one? Oh, Norbert Jakob has just come in as well. So where's this going to put Pironi in relation to Ronhaar? Whoop, as on my camera, Pironi and Noordijk nearly run over one another. Where is Ronhaar? Where is Ronhaar? Just coming down the start finish straight. Pironi should be, yeah, Pironi's out. So actually the overcut is proven to be quite strong here, because look at the gap between Pironi and Ronhaar.
And even the likes of Joost Noordijk and Norbert Jakob is ahead of Thomas Ronhaar as well. So we weren't sure what the undercut was going to work. Originally we thought it was, but I think it goes, not this time, which is probably why the likes of Luke Smith, Ruben Pedreño, Duncan Hoffland and Tom Martinez have stayed out, and usually it comes back to bite them, but today I think they realised they made the right decision. They do, some of these drivers do have Jeffs, as in real life engineers, usually their friends or their eSport team members helping them in a Discord call. so they know what the other drivers are doing. So this is music to Luke Smith's ears and Ruben Pedreño's ears as well. I think Ruben will be in a party with his teammate. I'm almost certain of it.
We may be completely barking up the wrong tree. Thomas Ronnar had damage. There's a couple of people in chat. Thank you for that. So Ronnar had a front wing change. That's why he's so far behind.
Thank you, people in chat.
Thank you indeed, because of course we can't see their streams, so we're a little bit busy with this one. Tom Martinez has remained out. Has he done that a bit too long? Because he's now got Oscar Villacampa, who will not want his face full of Red Bull at the moment. He will be wanting to get out there and get on with it. But let's see, where does Luke Smith reappear in relation to Simon Perroni? Oh, it's close! Side by side! Luke Smith! Oh my goodness me, by the skin of a pixel, has remained ahead of Simon Perroni. Whoa! Maybe there is value in the overcut. Either way, that was close.
Well, at least that proved the point, kind of.
We weren't completely barking up the wrong tree. I think you're trying to democratically say.
That was what I was trying to say. But Luke Smith, you can tell he's put in a lot of practice for this event. I think more than anybody. I think for the race, he probably hasn't put as much into qualifying, but the race, he knows about the strategy. He thought of the reason why he should stay out, and that is amazing. And he's already 5/10 of Simon Perroni as well. He's just got to try and defend of Simon Perroni as well, because he got the lead early on in the race, but he got overtaken again. He doesn't want to be in the exact same position again, as Villacampa has overtaken Tom Martinez. So Tom Martinez's sauce is starting to die.
Yeah, Tom let him go there, because Tom went to the outside line. But he stayed out. Why has Tom Martinez stayed out that long? Oh, well, all right, he's now going to jump back ahead of the Aston Martin. As right behind, Jack Laverty and the two Jacks are swapping round. So Laverty now ahead of West. Haas leading Williams. Oh, as West nearly Laverty nearly went a little bit too deep. As Perroni and Luke Smith have now swapped round in a dance that's no doubt going to continue until the flag falls on that start-finish line. Joost Noordijk, Ruben Pedreño right with it. Duncan Hofland as well is in that mix. There's Norbert Jakob. There's 3 seconds behind that what's going to be overall lead group. And there is Thomas Ronhart, 1.2 behind with Jordan Poland ahead. Oh, Pedreño has added his name to the penalty board. Oh, that's going to hurt come the end of the race. If they're still bunched up like this, Luke Smith doing what he can to stay right with Simon Perroni at the moment. Oh, my goodness me. What a showdown we've got. As Jack West now adds his name to the penalty board. Those penalties are going to really, really hurt towards the end of the race.
Yes, it is. I think it is less common to get a penalty here as well. So with Jack West, Ruben Pedreño and Danny getting penalties now, this is not good for any of them without any stretch of imagination. So I think Luke just wants, the slipstream and the DRS pretty much in the final lap, because I think they're using the technique that if you do have DRS, there's more pressure on the guy in front to try and defend. And that's what Luke Smith is doing. This could be a ding-dong battle between all three of them. Joost Noordijk is going for a move on Simon Perroni into turn 27. To the right-hand side he goes, heading towards the start-finish straight, and Joost Noordijk is up into second position. He started quite low in the standings at the moment. He could get the lead off Luke Smith as well into turn 1, which he does not. Luke Smith defending quite nicely, but we got Luke Smith first, Joost Noordijk in second, Simon Perroni in third. Now, if he carries on his pace like this, this will be huge redemption for this. He even said in the interviews last week, I remember, he puts in more practice for the races where he does not have a Challengers week. This week is not Challengers, so he's probably putting a lot of practice for Jeddah. Next week, I can't remember where we go to next week, but he will probably focus more on Challengers on the PS4 side more than PC. So that the races, the weeks where he doesn't have Challengers, he's got to basically capitalise on his results, and he's definitely doing that.
Absolutely. I mean, you can't blame him for putting Challengers above F2. You can't blame him for that, in fairness. But doing a stunning job here in Jeddah. So Luke Smith now in 8th position with Joost Noordijk right behind him. Simon Perroni has got a little bit of a gap behind the Mercedes, with Ruben Pedreño all over his tail, and Pedreño nails the inside line. And
Joost Noordijk, sorry to cut you.
Not at all, carry on.
For the net lead of race. race into turn 27. He got the lead there. Very nice and committed there as well. But is Luke Smith going to have the DRS? Yes, he has as well. Joost Noordijk is being challenged quite a lot, but he didn't fight back on Luke Smith. Luke Smith's got the lead there, and I have to say that's great tactics from the Alpine driver there as well. But it was a good move from Joost Noordijk as well. But Simon Beregli apparently has damage, so that's why he's dropped by a little bit of position, which is a bit of a shame. Don't know where he got damage, but he must have raced against the wall or something, or hit someone, I don't know. But we'll find out more from him maybe in the driver interviews towards the end of the stream. But literally this race could go either way. We don't know who's going to win. We thought it was going to be a Thomas Ronhaar show with him getting pole position, but due to the damage he got earlier on, that's probably not disadvantaged him in a lot of ways. But due to the fact he's got quite a decent gap at the top of the standings, him having a bad race today, it won't be too bad, because he could have a much better race next week. So obviously we only have 8 races to go. So for him, because he's mainly had good races anyway, it doesn't matter. He can finish basically in the points and still win the championship. We see many PSGL championships where you do not have to win every race or get in the podium to get the championship. Even though it's ideal, we saw Joost do it in F1 on the PS side last season. And here comes Luke Smith doing exactly the same to what we saw with Joost, but this time on Sam. But Sam is yet to pit, of course. As speaking of pit stops, Andre Tower Booking is going into the pits, and so is Sam as well. I believe they will be going on to the soft compounder tyres until the end, and then we've got Ruben Drenny almost trying to get past Joost Noordijk there, but he does not there. So well, I have to say, I thought we were going to get more incidents in this. PCF2, this is absolutely amazing. Take a bow.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought we'd have a lot more detonated cars by now. I'm also surprised the medium starters haven't gone a bit longer than they have. But then I suppose by lap 7, the softs are coming in, so about 12 is probably about right for the medium tyres. So and for almost everyone except for Oscar Villacampa, who started on the medium tyres, have now ditched them for a set of softs. They are being led now by Jack West in 11th. He's got himself a bit of breathing space between himself and Jack Laverty, who's having an argument with Carter Lundy for 12th. As you can see there, as Jack West is honing in on Jeffrey Ritchie. So that battle for 10th is reigniting. Ronhaar and Norbert Jakob are still arguing for what is now 7th position. But Luke Smith, my word, what a great performance he's putting in. And I mean, this could, if he carries on like that, this would be his first win of the season, if memory serves, if he manages to take it that far.
Win in the top 2 tiers as well.
Oh, very nice. It's Noordijk.
Joost almost got the job done there as well, but I think he saw what Luke did a few laps ago, because Joost wanted the DRS, so if he makes his work and try and gets past him in turn 1, then that tactic he did there would really help him as well. But here comes Joost Noordijk into turn 1, but Luke Smith is ready for his life. But look at this, Joost Noordijk trying to get the switch back on him, but it doesn't work. It leads him to no avail, unfortunately, heading to most of them are 90 degree left or right handers as well, so very, very cautious there as well. But most people are keeping to the curves as much as they possibly can. That is where you gain the most speed as well. If you are too far away from the curbs, that's where you lose more speed, and more people will try and overtake you. But this battle's going to go on and on until the end of the race, and everyone that has pitted just now, as I was saying earlier, have gone on to the soft tyres. So the strategy that I thought was going to happen did happen, but slightly earlier than I thought. But it happens sometimes. But it is good to be in strategy, or maybe just soft strategy. So if you still got your race to do on Sunday or Monday, then we've kind of given you tips on what strategy you should do.
Oh, Jack West is dancing all behind his Williams quote-unquote teammate of Jeffrey Ritchie. He's bouncing all over the place as Primoz Miklovic now adds his name to the penalty board. Jack West is determined to get past. I mean, I'm a little surprised that Jeff hasn't let him through. As side by side, oh no! Contact between Pedreño and Noordijk on that final turn. Oh no! It was Noordijk is in the pits. He was pitched into the wall. Pedreño in the pits as well. Their race has been completely compromised. Oh no! Pedreño has retired his car. as a result, that's a new front wing for Nordic. Oh my goodness me. Well, did we not talk about having issues? Look at Norbert Jakob. He's got an absolute snapping pack of piranhas right with him as Jack West has not only... Wow, Jack West has managed... Yeah, wow, we completely missed that with what was going on with Pedreño and Nordic. He's managed to... Oh, as he's trying to get past Jakob now on the inside line, coming down towards 13. He's going to have him. My word, Richie is now down into 13. Jack West is now up to 4th.
Don't forget though, Chris, the softs at this point, fresh softs, is about 1.131 seconds quicker than the medium. So
wow.
Jack played that strategy perfectly. Don't forget he started outside the top 10, but don't forget he's got that penalty.
Oh, there goes Slavity. Sorry to cut you off, Jess.
There's so much battle, so many battles happening as well. This is insane. Can we have Jada on the calendar more often, please? This is absolutely crazy. I'm sure the driver hates us, but...
yeah. Oh, Jack Lavity.
Oh, Jack Lavity is on it. He almost hit Norbert Jakob there to... fruition at the moment. Here he comes, Jack Lavity, the right-hand side.
Oh!
Here he comes.
Oscar Villacampa.
Oscar Villacampa there as well. Jordan Poland somehow in the top 10 after being last after lap 1. So he's having a very good recovery drive. Carter Lundy is making his way up to P7. These soft runners are absolutely flying right now. He's going to try and get past Jack Lavity into turn 1. Because of Jack West's penalty, this could be, if they get past Thomas Wanhart, this could be the battle for the lead for this race if they can catch up to the top 3. So, I literally, Jack West, he's came from Xbox. I've commentated on quite a few times on Xbox, the XBGL tier when there was an Xbox tier. He was there as well, but my oh my, he's improved a lot since then. Jack Lavity, also known as Midnight, he was on the PlayStation side as well, and does a lot on PC now as well, and I'm trying to see Thomas Wanhart obviously on Xbox and was champion on the Xbox side in WOR. So this is Xbox versus PlayStation.
Yeah, on the PC.
exactly. I know Thomas Wanhart still races on Xbox, but I don't think Jack and the two Jacks don't race on their respective consoles anymore. They just race on PC, but yeah, they're doing a stellar job, but imagine where Wanhart would have been if he didn't get that damage. He would have been leading by quite a way, I think.
I'd have thought so. On board with Andre Terry-Bukin. Oh, he's gone into the back of Miklovic. Hopefully that hasn't caused him too much damage. There's Poland as well, side by side with Jakob. And that's Hoffland and West swapping round. DRS down that main straight. He's going to be powerless, and Ronhart follows Jack West through. Now, Ronhart's not going to have an awful lot of power to try and keep up with Jack West, but he's going to try anyway. There's Jordan Poland on the penalty board again. Jeffrey Ritchie in the pits. Oh, my days. We were talking about, we were surprised there weren't many incidents. Now they're having all of them.
Yeah, I think we should say...
Oh, my God! Duncan Hoffland, my word!
Hoffland has gone off a little bit there. He's been passed by both of the Aston Martins. But Campbell all of a sudden, wait, let's get the position changes up. So I want to see the position changes. Jack West, up 10. Jack Lavity and Carter Lundy, up 9 places.
Wow.
Down the road. Oh, here comes Jordan Poland and the two Ferraris as well, making ground as well. These soft runners are doing a lot better than I was expecting. Wow, and Yost gets on the penalty board. Unfortunately, but he's going to keep going like the man he is, because if you want to be chased by an F1 esports team, you really want to show that you do not give up as well. As here goes Norbert Jakob past Duncan Hoffland. I think it's turn 24, I think. Past turn 24, I don't know. I can't remember.
Lost track, yeah, absolutely. There's so much going on.
The map is upside down, that's probably why.
Yeah,
there we go.
we're going to blame that.
And we're almost on lap 19 and 25. This race has gone so quickly, so...
Hasn't it just?
And Luke Smith, 3.9 seconds behind Sim Pugin, and Jack West has got past him.
He has, yeah. Jack West has managed to get past him on parity as Miklovic and Poland swap around for 8th position. And no way we can keep up with all the action going on. Andre Terry-Bukin and Norbert Jakob having an argument coming through the first few turns for 10th position, with the Russian losing out on that one in the Alpine. Yeah, Luke Smith, whilst all this has been going on, Mr. Precise, yep, I'm off. Don't mind me. Duncan Offland has been falling through the field, so he's in the pits. Is he going to park it or is he going to continue? It looks like he's going to continue, in fairness. Good man. Can't blame you at all for that. But is Jack West in the Williams going to be able to close in? Well, he can. He's certainly got the pace, but are those tyres going to last long enough? Well, there's only 7 laps remaining. This race, like you said, Jess, has flown by. And unbelievably, Ron Hart is back on the tail of Pyrenees. So the two Titans are crossing swords again, this time for third. Now Richie is on the penalty board again. Let's go on board with Villecamper, who's the tail car of this particular 4-car conga line, as Ron Hart is sizing up Pyrenees. Can't get it done just yet. Now coming through the last part of the circuit. Ron Hart on the outside line, but he doesn't particularly want to be there. We've seen how strong the DRS is. The McLaren goes through, but the third, here comes Laverty to upset the apple cart as well. On the inside line of the final turn, Pyrenees has no answer to that. My goodness me, soft tyres are plenty, but now is Ron Hart going to be mugged? Here comes Carter Lundy now on Simon Pyrenees. I usually try and write post-race articles about this. I have no idea how I'm going to write this one. As Carter Lundy on the inside line, big lock up there for Jack Laverty. Ron Hart remains in third, at the moment at least. Good Lord!
Well, if this is, if we have to decide the race of the season, I think this is going to be one of them. I'm almost certain of it right now. They're giving it absolutely everything. It's just so thrilling. And I was talking at the beginning of the stream, if you remember, how high speed it is, that you just take every corner like it's your last. And we've got, I think, an Aston Martin trying to get past Simon Pyrenees and Villecamper as well. The Aston Martins were screwed by the pit stops last week, but they weren't at the moment doing completely different strategies, and it's helped them very, very well. Carter Lundy P5, Villecamper P6, and Simon Pyrenees dropped down to 7th place, so that's good news for Thomas Von Hart. And yes, we do know that Simon has damage, that's why he's dropping quite a few positions, but we also have to remember these soft tyres are way faster compared to the mediums. But it's going to get to a point, though, that the softs start to die. Don't forget, these softs only last 13 laps. I think about when it gets to about a few laps time, it could happen. And Jack Laverty gets past Thomas Von Hart. Carter Lundy gets past Thomas Von Hart on those softs as well. It just goes to show that the softs are the faster tyres to be on right now. Jack Laverty is up to third. I think the last time I've seen him on the podium at PSGL was, I think, in the PS days in F1. In the F2 days, in PC,
oh no!
Great job.
Villecamper's round. Villecamper's gone round. Oh, which one?
Villecamper went a bit wide as well. Oh my goodness, there's just so much going on.
Villecamper and Pyrenees tangled up on turn 1 and 2, so that sadly turned Villecamper round. So the stewards may have to have a look at that one. It's up to the drivers. They have to submit the inquiries. That's not up to us. As Pyrenees and Miklovic now sizing up, and there you go. You can see the extent of the damage on Pyrenees' car. Oh, Miklovic has had a slide. Oh, he couldn't hold that inside line, but he's now falling through the field. Down to 10th. That's a shame. He was in such a strong position. He was looking good for points. Ron Hart now 5th position, staying nailed to the back of Carter Lundy. Simon Pyrenees out of DRS range to the back of the McLaren. Still plenty to do. Jack West isn't catching on Luke Smith. So Luke, without penalty as well, bear in mind, is looking really strong for his first win in a top tier here at PSGL. Then you've got Jack West, who is carrying a penalty. That's another penalty for Jeffrey Ritchie and Primoz Miklovic.
Oh, Carter Lundy!
Yeah, I've just seen that. Lundy flies through on the inside line on Laverty, but that's going to leave Carter Lundy vulnerable to a counter-attack. Here comes Ron Hart again on the inside line of Laverty. I doubt he's going to hold that one. Well, oh me of little faith. He's hold my beer, he says. I'm coming through. Oh! As Laverty tries to chink out, but there's a McLaren in the way. He couldn't do it. Laverty still on the inside line of Ron Hart. These two still fighting for 4th position. Laverty just nose up ahead, and he's defended against Ron Hart. Ron Hart could not wrestle that position. Jack Laverty kept his cool and has kept his position.
There we go. That was fantastic from Jack Laverty. Don't forget, Thomas Von Hart is one of the fastest people in this league. And Jack Laverty being able to defend like that was insane. Absolutely insane. Andre Chapkin has got past Simon Pyrenees, and Andre is having a very good race as Jeffrey Ritchie has had a moment, unfortunately.
Yeah, He's nailed himself to the wall somewhere. He's through the early parts of the turn, front wing scraping along the floor. That's his race pretty much done. It's still a 3-second penalty for Jack West, which at the moment is looking to drop him, I'd say, well, certainly out of podium contention. But Luke West,
Luke West?
Luke West. Luke Smith and Jack Smith. Yep, those two. Luke Smith and Jack West. You know who I meant. No one has been able to stop Luke Smith at the moment. He's doing absolutely brilliantly well. Jack West, he needs to build up another second. He's only got a few laps to do it. But Carter Lundy now going to be a very popular man. Here comes Laverty on the inside line of the Aston Martin, and a straightforward move for Jack Laverty back up into third. Pironi and Terry Buchan have just swapped round again. Now the Frenchman back ahead of the Russian with Jordan Poland and Oscar Villecamper in hot pursuit as well. So that's 2 4-car conga lines going on. Carter Lundy's not done with Jack Laverty just yet as they get very, very close. Martinez and Joost Noordijk have swapped round further down, but Tom Martinez could actually get into the... no, he's too far back to gain into the points just yet. As Jeffrey Ritchie has brought his car into the pits, he's probably going to park it this time as Villecamper gets another penalty on the board. Yep. Yeah, that's a retirement for Jeffrey Ritchie. That's a bit of a shame. His race has gone from bad to disastrous. But looking at Carter Lundy once again, he's got Ron Har behind and Laverty ahead. That's not an enviable position at all. Fair play to Thomas Ronhar. He's been defending for all he's worth on those medium tyres. And now Jack West has a 3-second gap to this pack. Jack West could remain in second position.
I have to say, I've known him for quite a long time on the Xbox side, is where I started my commentary days, and he's doing very, very well. And if these two keep battling, Jack Laverty and Carter Lundy, the gap's going to increase even more. Carter Lundy could get a podium.
Wow, Thomas Ronhar.
Overtake, but he did not. He got past Jack Laverty at least, but he didn't get past Carter Lundy. Jordan Poland, look at him. He's come out of nowhere. It's going to be potentially 4 wide, potentially as well, but it's going to be 3 wide as well. We've got Luke's teammate in with the action as well. Jordan Villecamper. I have to say, there's so many contenders for driver of the day, Chris. Literally everybody in this top, pretty much in this top 8 is having brilliant races. Tara Booking, don't forget, didn't have the best of races last time out. He's having a much better race, and he's had lots of personal issues and real life issues to deal with, and he's still racing and he's doing an incredible job. So fair play to him as well. Thomas Ronhar, is his penultimate chance to really get on to the back of Jack Laverty and try and get past it very, very soon. Turn 27 could be the best opportunity to do it, and I think he's learned to accept he's not going to get the win today, but my oh my, he's still having a lot of fun, I have to say, and that these guys in esports will be looking at, if you start from pole but do not have the best of races, it's how you come back from it, and he's definitely come back from it, Mr. Thomas Ronhar. You can see Jack Laverty's harvesting through turn 24 there. To the left-hand side, Jack Laverty as well. All this going to be tight from Thomas Ronhar as well. All of this is allowing to increase the gap on both Jack West and Luke Smith. Thomas Ronhar to the right, Jack Laverty to the left. Carter Lundy tries to cover off both of them. Carter Lundy's got Jack Laverty back there. Wow, well timed for Carter Lundy, but will Thomas Ronhar, surely he's got the move done. Surely he's got past 1. Is he going to get past 2 into turn? Goes then.
Oh!
My word!
That will be a lovely desync going on there as we go. Well, there wasn't between Ronhar and Lundy as Ronhar now sent to the wall. Yeah, that was a bit of an unfortunate. Yeah, the definite desync going on there. That's a great shame. We never want to see it, but Ronhar, because of that incident, has dropped to 7th as he's been absolutely mugged now by those that have recently pitted. Jordan Poland looking to try and get past. Lundy and Tara Buchan having an argument. Andre Tara Buchan on the alternate strategy is facing a potential podium as the leaders have started. We're on the final lap of the race. Luke Smith leads away. Joost Noordijk, another penalty on the board. Jack Tara Buchan just nudges Carter Lundy, but the Aston Martin holds on to that 4th position. My goodness me, it's anyone's guess who's going to get that final podium position. Luke Smith looks set to win. Jack West looks set for second, even with his penalty. But Jack Laverty is in the best position to seal out the podium, but Andre Terebukin still has something to say about it. Screaming down towards the penultimate, towards the final turn. Oh my goodness, Jack Laverty on the inside line. Your winner for this race is Luke Smith. Carter Lundy's just gone up to third. Laverty's down to fifth. Can Andre Terebukin do it? Sprint to the line. The Russian. Oh no, Carter Lundy has just squeezed out Andre Terebukin for that podium position, but only just. My goodness me, Carter Lundy has claimed that third position by what must have been the narrowest of margins. Oh my goodness me, that was absolutely unreal. There's not even a split on the board, it was so close. Terebukin looked like he was ahead, so there may be...
I think the gaps are so close, Chris. I think the gaps are so close. That's why you're seeing the up and down arrow, because it was so tight. But if there was a fantasy league all about our PSGL drivers, we would literally... we don't know who to put in the team all week. But luckily, you don't have to do that. We've got our own fantasy league for the F1 2022 season, which you can find on Grid Rivals. But I have to say, Luke Smith getting his first win in PSGL top tiers. He technically got the win in Monaco, but it got taken away due to a 5-second penalty by cutting the pit lane, which was absolutely gutting. But I'm so glad that he's got a win in the second top tier now. Surely that will open so many doors for him. Jack West as well. He even said to us that he didn't think he could compete against the top guys in a high division with a high caliber driver as well. Jack West, my friend, you have proven that. And of course we got Carter Lundy, who at the start of the season he was in F3. Started in F3. He was leading the championship, and last week he's proven that he should be in F2 full time. Well, this week he's proven it even more, hasn't he?
Oh, yeah, totally. So, before any kinds of steward's intervention, Luke Smith from 4th on the grid has taken the win. Jack West from 13th has finished second. Wow. There seems to be some debate about who's taken third on the board, as you can see, by 6 thousandths of a second. At the moment, it is with Carter Lundy. That one may go to the stewards, but that was from 15th on the grid. Andre Terebukin equally as well, 16th to 4th. Brilliant effort there. Laverty from 14th up to 5th is a very good effort there as well. Our poleman Thomas Ronhar in 6th, Pirani 7th, Villacamper 8, Polo 9 and Martinez finishing inside the top 10. Wow. Oh my goodness me, that was fantastic.
Well, the F3 commentators were hyping to us about the Jeddah race. Always going to be fantastic, they said, but they were definitely right there. Jeddah absolutely delivered on PC for the last 2 nights. And if you want to check out some more Jeddah action, well, we've got some more on Sunday night with the F10 tier and on Monday night with our PS tiers, the top PS tiers on Mondays. But before we end the stream, we've got some interviews to do.
Oh, here we do. And we have got the Williams of Jack West. Jack, are you with us?
Hello.
Oh, my God, sir. What a run.
Yeah, can't believe it.
Says the person that's felt he couldn't be competitive at the top of the tier.
Well,
take a bow, sir. You cannot say that you entirely lucked into that, because this circuit is not exactly short of needing skill to navigate well, and you did it brilliantly.
yeah, thanks. I think I knew my quality pace going into this wasn't really great, so I watched the F3 race and I saw the alternate strat was good, so I decided to take a risk that that others might not have gone for. I saw Ron Har and them go for the soft, so I went for something different. And I went for the mediums. And initially I was quite worried because we lost DRS on the first lap. But yeah, me and Jack Laverty managed to work really well together to at least try and catch up to Villacamper whilst he was DRS training along with Tom Martinez. And then I went really early because I knew that I had to go early to gain on the undercut. And I even managed to jump Villacamper, which I wasn't expecting because he had like a 2-second lead. And then I got a really stupid penalty, so I knew pretty much from when I had a penalty, I just pushed. as much as I can. And yeah, I just overtook everyone. Luckily, not many people were fighting too much, so it was quite easy. But I mean, I wouldn't have got P2 if it wasn't for Jack Laverty. He managed to hold up. I think it was Carter Lundy, Ron Ha, and yeah, we managed to pull the 3 seconds. So I think if it wasn't for him, we would not have got a podium today. So yeah, thanks for him for that. And yeah, I haven't had a good start to the season. I've had a lot of DNFs, and I think the pace and the look hasn't been on my side recently. But I'm quite happy with this performance, to say the pace wasn't looking good going into this race.
I think you have every reason to be happy with your performance tonight. That was absolutely spectacular. That should give you a bit of confidence moving forward. Let's have a look. Where are we next time? Oh, it's Spa we head to.
Ooh.
Oh, lovely. Looking forward to heading to Belgium?
No.
Oh!
Oh!
A non-Spa man. Well. Mind you said you weren't looking forward to this one, in fairness. So are you playing mind games with this? But, well, I mean...
Psychology.
I mean, we're as happy as you are. We've thoroughly enjoyed watching a brilliant race from you, Jack, and we wish you the best of luck in the season moving forward. Thank you very much, Jack West.
Thank you.
We have also got the Aston Martin of Carter Lundy. Carter, are you with us?
Yeah, hello.
Hello to you. And, oh my God, literally to the last, almost looked like to the last pixel of the race, you were fighting the whole way. Talk us through it from your side.
Well, in qualifying, I did too big of a lift. I was aiming for P11 and I accidentally dropped to, P15. In the race, I knew the strategy, I knew everything I needed to do, and I knew battery management was going to be super important. And yeah, throughout the race, I was like above 70% while most people were flashing. So I really just picked my places to overtake and yeah, made it count when I needed to. At the line, I think, Andre, I think he got ahead lightly by the checkered flag, so I think maybe he'd be P3 on track, but he hit me through turn 9, I think it was, and gained quite a massive advantage, which would have cost me the position, so I'm not sure if we'll get a PEM. But, I mean, it was a great race anyway.
It certainly was. Me and Jess have been absolutely shouting our lungs off, trying to keep up with all you absolute nutters out there. It's been very, very difficult to keep up with, but wow, what a show you put on. Next time out, it is Spa. So are you looking forward to that one?
I don't know. I've not had a league racer this game, actually.
What?
But I think it's a nice track.
Oh, that should be interesting. Well, let's look forward to that, and we wish you the best of luck moving forward. Well, great race, well done, and best of luck, Carter Lundy.
Thank you, guys. Bye.
Good night, indeed. And we get to chat. I was hoping we would get to chat to this man. It's the Alpine of Luke Smith.
Hello.
Oh, but you just ran off. You just sauntered off into the distance in the end.
I mean, after Ruben and I think was it Houston Ruben came together.
Houston, yeah.
Yeah, once those two came together, then yeah, there wasn't really a lot to do apart from just use the ERS I had remaining and just try and scamper away, you know. So yeah, it's especially considering I had quite an ERS reserve. It was a lot easier to kind of build that gap, obviously, and obviously all the soft runners would have pitted early, so their tires went off quite quickly towards the end. So yeah, happy with that.
You have every reason to be happy with that, Struth. What a way to prove to Alpine your worth. That was absolutely stunning. So, I mean, were you thinking you were going to be able to get a decent lead up front? I mean, it's pretty difficult to get a lead anywhere, let alone here, considering how close the field is. Was this a race you were looking forward to?
I knew that I had pretty good pace around Jeddah. In terms of raw quality, but obviously I under-delivered. Didn't have a lot of time to practice like right before the race, but I'd done obviously a little bit throughout the week for PSGL F1 as well. So I felt fairly confident in my pace, especially quali pace. The race pace sort of came out of nowhere. I was trying a new setup right before the race, and it felt really nice to drive. So yeah, I don't have any regrets about that new setup, let's say.
Rightly so. What an excellent run you've had. So it's Spa next time out. Are you looking forward to the Belgian Classic?
Good question. I know that this is probably one of Ronha's, maybe not favourite, but definitely best tracks. So it's going to be difficult to beat him, but generally I enjoy driving it, especially in more recent times. Like on the old games, it was not as good. On this game, it's still not quite there, but overall it'll be an exciting one for sure.
I have no doubt. Every race is in these tiers, but I have no doubt that F2 will put on a great show as always. Best of luck moving forward, and well done on the race win. Thank you very much, Luke Smith.
Thank you, man. See you later, man.
Oh, finally we get to catch our breath, Miss Ball. What a stunning race we've had tonight.
Can we go to Jeddah every season in PSGL? I have to say, I think I need to drive to Big C to try and get Jeddah. That was a brilliant race. There was quite a few people who had stellar performances, and even people who didn't have the best of starts and was involved in it at the beginning, they were able to fight back towards the end, which just goes to show how powerful the alternate strategy is around the track as well. And even Jordan Poland, who went on to the media beginning, he did well to recover towards the end as well. So people did not give up, and we were set for a cracking race from start to finish. And yeah, we definitely get to catch our breath now. But next week at Spa, I have to say Spa is one of my favourite tracks on this game, period. So I'm looking forward to that one next week, if I'm in the box, of course, for that one. But Alada might be back by then, but if he's not, looking forward to being in the box for that one.
Awesome stuff. Well, as we said, it is indeed Spa-Francorchamps next time out for F2. So join us Thursday, 8 p.m. British time, for what is no doubt going to be a sensational race. Until then, thank you very much, and thank you, of course, to our drivers and to everybody watching along. And not, of course, forgetting our new partnership with Grid Rival, the Fantasy F1 game. Links in the description for how to get involved in that. Until next week, thank you very much, and good night.